My name is Barrington Chambers, part of the orchestra which I do percussion, MC, sing, DJ, anything like that. The plan for the orchestra started in about 2009. There was a band around called Black Roots and he was the lead singer, Charlie. So he was part of the planning and everything, and then we used to sit outside my gate on the bench there in the park. And we were just chatting the day and he said, "Oh Barrington, you're one of the best persons to talk to about this." I said, "What is it?" And he said, "They're trying to start some music group." Before we even go any further, it wasn't called the Bristol Reggae Orchestra then, it was called the St. Paul's Reggae Orchestra. And this is what Charlie was saying to us, saying to me the day. He said, "Barrington, we are getting old now and you are the younger, not to say the younger, but the middle-aged ones coming up now. You guys should take the mantle and run with it. Dust off your talent that you have, polish it and come again." You know, and I thought, you know, that's a good idea.
My name's Rebecca Scott. I am a clarinetist in Bristol Reggae Orchestra and I sing occasionally. And I've been doing that for 13 years. Yeah, Bristol born and bred. I first bought my clarinet when I was 13. I begged my mum and dad who had to save to get this clarinet. It was second-hand. A friend was selling it and I just knew I wanted to play an instrument. Music is like my total life. And so when a friend of mine had said, that this is Reggae Orchestra, I was like, oh my God, that's it. That's the thing I've been looking for that just hasn't existed for me before now. So that was kind of what inspired me to join.
Yeah, I was born in St. James, Montego Bay, Jamaica. And as I said to a lot of people, I was born upstairs a recording studio. The way I love music is like I was almost in the studio. So within like a mile radius of where I grew up, there was 4 massive sound systems. When I said, when they're playing, even the street lights dim sometimes. Massive. And then that's when I started to learn how to proper DJ and a sound, spin record. So what they used to do, take out the records out the box, put them in alphabetical order or singer's order or DJ order. Then I would stand on the record box, because I was too short then. And then I would stand there and learn to play the sound system. So Sunday afternoon, from 2, 3 o'clock, make sure everything is done at home, my shoes polished for school on a Monday, uniform is ready, hang up, and then out the house. Because the sound is playing, and as soon as I walk up, my opportunity is there. And then that's how I started in, reggae music and playing reggae music.
I originally started it 3 weeks after the project began. I was working with a colleague and he said, "Oh, there's this new reggae orchestra and I know that you play clarinet and you haven't played for a while, but you're going to love this and you should come." And I did.
3, 4, It ends on that B flat major 7. Yeah. Okay, can we just try that? It was lovely. It was very nice.
Where was that from? The top A again?
Yeah, keep it like that, quite sparse. Yeah, that's lovely Barrington.
choir just started in 2022. And then I spoke to the vicar in the church, St. Agnes Church, and asked her if we could practice in there or rehearse in there. And she said, yeah.
The choir is run by Gina Rose, who is quite a renowned choir director.
Yeah, this is, to me, it's an incredibly powerful movement. Having a choir, such as the Windrush Reggae Choir, is incredibly heartening because it's reclaiming all that has been done by the people who came over to help rebuild, to literally build this country up again, and all of the contributions of so many who came over wanting something better for themselves, for their families, and now reclaiming the music, the stories, the songs, and celebrating that through this choir and our gathering. So it's really powerful. My name is Orgina Rose, and I'm a singer-songwriter, composer, music director, best-selling author, and the first online entertainment producer. All together the first time. 1, 2, 3, and... Bele mama, bele mama, yeah, mama, bele mama, yeah, mama, bele mama, yeah, mama, yeah, mama, bele mama, bele mama, bele mama, bele mama, bele mama, yeah. Sopranos sing again. Yeah, mama, bele mama, yeah, mama, bele mama, bele mama, bele mama, Thank you. Attack right from the beginning. Sometimes
The learning how to fly, is that 4 times? Is that repeated or 3?
twice. So, learning how to fly, learning how to fly is one kind of your dreams.
Yeah, thank you.
And single shoulders, and a 1, and a 2. Gonna take them on a journey. Here we go.
All my life I've been waiting.
that you are saying. One day this all will change. Those first words I need so super clear and together. Really powerful. Yeah, it's still a little muddy just right there, so really give one day this all will change. Super clear, be ready for it, okay? So much better though, that was really, really amazing.
It's got to be symmetrical, I like things symmetrical. Yeah. And where do I look?
We didn't have hair and makeup.
No, we don't have hair and makeup.
What wardrobe?
We don't have wardrobe. What do I do in the work?
You sing.
Hi, my name's Sharon Benjamin and I'm part of the Windrush Reggae Choir. I'm the liaison for the choir and I also sing.
Hello, my name is Melanie Otto. I'm one of the singers in the Windrush Reggae Choir and I'm also the chair of the Windrush Reggae Choir Committee.
Well, yeah, I'm first generation of the Windrush. It's been difficult, no doubt, and it's really nice to have the Windrush Reggae Choir as a platform to share our experiences, and it's joyful, and most people enjoy it, and we do.
We have a wonderful time.
We have a wonderful time, so yes, it's a privilege.
Choir has given voice to a lot of people who didn't have a voice. And I think, you know, and as a committee, our ethos is all about education, celebration, connection and empowerment. And so for us, singing some of the reggae songs, reggae is so rooted in rebellion and political discourse. You know, people can voice their stuff through their songs that can give voice to the plight, the oppression. And I think in this community particularly, we felt that it was a way of just connecting with them, using the music that is very much part of the heritage in this community. And yeah, just bringing everybody together to have that one voice, which has been really powerful.
If you think about reggae music, immediately you think about the Windrush. And if you think about the Windrush, immediately you think about reggae. Because even though the Windrush wasn't just Jamaicans, the influence was from Jamaica. Reggae music kicks off immediately. Because, not say immediately, but because the first Windrush set was like in the late 40s. My uncle, he came here just after the war. So he was one of the first set of Windrush people who came. When he first came to Bristol, it was a proper bomb site. And he said when he came, they gave him a shovel and a pickaxe to dig out a bomb in Old Market. And the bomb was sticking out the ground, and they gave a group, about 4 of them, a pickaxe. No, like each of them a pickaxe and a shovel. And they have to dig around the bomb. And then after they clear it, not thinking that the bomb could explode, you know, then the soldiers came, and then I don't know how they took it out.
I think one of the things this year has highlighted is, has given us an opportunity to learn about what it actually means to be part of the Windrush generation. And you know, many people, obviously it was the Windrush ship in 1948, but in terms of the Windrush generation, we're looking at between 48 and 75, and a lot of people came in. So whereas Sharon's parents came from the West Indies, my parents came from South Africa, of Indian descent. So there was an influx of migrants from all over the Commonwealth during that time. So I can't claim to be part of the Windrush generation in that same way. But in terms of the influx of people and people who came because the mother country said come and support and rebuild Britain, so my parents are very much part of that too.
So we were talking about musical influences. I'd say sort of, I've had a lot of influences, I guess, from sort of family and largely from my mum, to be fair, because my mum was massively into music and always played records in the house. But my biological dad, who I actually only got to meet when I was in my early 40s, was somebody who was a pioneer of British lovers rock. So reggae music that was obviously in the 60s and 70s or 70s largely, that came from Britain. So it had a kind of a bit of a unique style to it. Well, love songs really, essentially, that's why it's called lovers rock. And he was in a band called Tradition, and I really almost felt like it was in my blood. It was sort of quite interesting to me to meet the person that, yeah, obviously kind of helped me be on this earth. I probably feel like somewhere in me, like it's sort of innate, that I always was just really drawn to music and weirdly drawn to reggae music. Tradition were sort of big in sort of the 70s, early 80s, and they had quite a big album in the 70s called Moving On. So I wrote A Better Man in 2017. I seem to get this thing in my head. I don't know how many other people do this, but I hear music, like tracks in my head. I mean, in their entirety. I hear the melody, I hear all the different lines, you know, all the instrument lines, I hear the lyrics. But it happens to me quite a bit, and it happened to me with Better Man. I don't know if I've been humming it in the day or something, but it was one of these ones that woke me up early hours of the morning, and I was like, oh yeah, no, yeah, that's a good melody line, and I scribbled down a couple of things that kind of came to mind. I suppose the genre of music is love is rock, something I really love, and there are certain themes, obviously, when you sing those sorts of songs. It's quite often about heartbreak or unrequited love, or you know, or how much you love somebody or whatever. And this one just happened to be about sort of a bit of a heartbreak type thing, but it does have a bit of power to it as well. Yeah, so I think it's probably time to write a new one, because I feel like we've been dining out on that for a little bit of time now.
Yeah, so my musical background, I've always sung in church, and I played guitar and I've led worship.
Mine is a little bit different. So obviously I grew up in the inner city, so reggae, dub rock, lovers rock was what the thing was, and I was approached when I was about 17, and I was asked if I'd like to make a record, and I was like, of course. So we did a little bit of touring. We went to London, Birmingham, Cardiff, and I made a record called Mr. Guy.
Mr. Guy, I followed you home as a girl I felt so ashamed.
So that kind of threw me into sort of, you know, people got really excited, and you know, I was quite an experienced singer, but I wasn't at all. It was just a one-off opportunity, which was really lovely, and I've never stopped singing from then.
St. Paul's is the main hub for reggae music in Bristol, or even I would say the West Country / Bristol. But the minute you walk into St. Paul's, past the taxi office, taxi are playing music out there. One of the shops down there will be playing music. The learning centre. It's like the influence. As soon as you get into St. Paul's, reggae music is in your head. So if you think of reggae music, the influence is St. Paul's. The area is St. Paul's. the city is Bristol.
It absolutely is the Caribbean in a nutshell over here, and it's wonderful, and it's just rich with all of the flavors of the Caribbean music and everything. And St. Agnes seems to be very much the heartbeat of St. Paul's. So it feels very much like really connecting into the heart of St. Paul's and the Caribbean here in Bristol, here in the UK, which I feel incredibly fortunate. I'm incredibly happy because my own history, my own background has Caribbean roots as well, from Barbados, and so for me this is this wonderful connecting with my own history and my own ancestry here in the UK in a way that ironically I never had in the US.
St. Paul's Carnival is something that's very important to most locals. I might even have a picture of when I was about 6 in traditional costume, West Indian Dominican costume, but it's really important to celebrate not only the music, the food, coming together, the social aspect. Reggae is part and part of the carnival, and the Windrush Reggae Choir actually performed, and we knocked it out of the park, basically. We did a really good performance.
I think I first came to Carnival. In fact, I have a picture of me at Carnival as a baby in arms, And it's a really, really nice photo, and that's the first, obviously I don't have a memory of that, but it's the first the carnival that I would have been to. Yeah, and I reckon I've probably been to every one since.
So the Seven Saints of St. Paul's was created by a beautiful artist called Melanie Curtis. Michelle. All right, scrap that.
You better say the right name.
Yeah, so Michelle is the artist. So Michelle was doing a project and wanted to talk about some of the most iconic black people in Bristol, not only in St. Paul's, all over Bristol, that have been very instrumental in helping black people find their way in life, basically. So she decided that she would use art as a forum to talk about the history of when our parents, as I'm a first generation Windrush descendant, came to this country and how difficult it was to even get somewhere to live, a job, all those kind of things, the basic things. My mother-in-law, Dolores Campbell, is proudly placed on Campbell Street, which obviously we are very proud of. Mrs. Campbell was a unique individual, very strong in her beliefs, and she believed that we were people that had a voice, had a meaning, and we should celebrate our culture and the fact that lots of children were abandoned during the Windrush. So she felt as if she could make a difference by taking in children that had been abandoned. And that was her career, that was her vocation. So Mrs. Campbell is proudly up on Campbell Street in St. Paul's there for everyone to see and learn and find out what a legacy she's left. And yeah, she was an amazing person.
And I think a really important point that Sharon pointed out was that actually to see ourselves reflected. There are a lot of monuments and a lot of iconic things in Britain that don't reflect us,
yes,
and our history. And so to have that and to have that recognition in Bristol and St. Paul's is, the first step to hopefully things happening all over the country that will actually enable people like us, born and brought up here, of colour, to feel that we actually truly belong.
Reggae is influenced by Rasta, and Rasta is influenced by reggae. So if you think of reggae music, you think of Rastafarian right there and then. Every band has got at least 2 Rastas in it. Every single band.
Reggae music, though, I think is kind of unique in the sense that everybody can come to it in a certain way. So if you just talk about what it feels like to be at an event, a sound system, Bristol probably is a bit of a microcosm for it, but you look around and everybody can participate. Everyone can be there. It's joyful music, it's soulful music. It's about, quite often, they're kind of Rastafarian sound systems. It is about oneness and about being together and love, and that is what it's about.
Well, I don't think I'd be sat here today if it wasn't for reggae. The only reason why I joined the choir was because it was a reggae choir, and that way I could represent not only myself, but my parents and their legacy. So it was one way of me standing up and singing out, representing my mum and my lovely dad that have passed away. I think they'd be well proud.
Thank you very much. Remember, we are the Bristol Reggae Orchestra, alongside the Bristol Windrush Reggae Choir.
Thank you, Barrington.
The first program for you, which is called Big Ship Sailing on the Ocean. Come on, rock it.
I'll try every day.
Singing and performing on the Pyramid stage at the Glastonbury Festival was absolutely one of the highlights of my life and my career and of us together as a choir. It was absolutely extraordinary, epic really, especially because it happened so soon after we got together. Literally almost a year later, exactly, here we were from beginning as a small group to having, about almost 25 members on the stage singing literally on the same day ahead of the Sir Elton John. I mean, it's the stuff of what dreams are made of, as they say. And to live that dream was absolutely phenomenal. A day I'll never forget.
I didn't think it was real. Just to think that we had elders on that stage who would come to Britain, and here they were now on probably one of the biggest stages, you know, there is, one of the most prestigious events, talking about Windrush and singing about Windrush and singing our music, which was just wonderful, you know.
You know, I don't think there are many vicars who can claim to have performed on the Pyramid Stage at Glastonbury.
It was wicked, yeah.
What? That I go on about stakeholder policy and stakeholder democracy, and shareholder policy and shareholder democracy. Well, all right.
From the Bristol Reggae Orchestra and the wonderful Windrush Choir. Now we have a wonderful song that we're going to sing to you now that was written by John Agard, a wonderful Guyanese poet, and was arranged by Gina, our wonderful music director here. It's Windrush Child. We hope you enjoy.
I still practice reggae every single day now, because I've got a little studio thing in my kitchen, like drums, bass, amps and everything there. So I just sit in there sometime 1, 2 o'clock at night if I don't want to sleep. Sit there on my own, practice certain thing, record it, listen back to it. Yes, that's how I do it. Reggae is always in my head. I wake up singing reggae music, go to bed, listen reggae music on the internet, just, you know, have like a tablet on your bedside table.
And I think, for me, actually, thinking about the Windrush Reggae Choir being at St Agnes, it felt, as I said, you know, that it reflects the community that we live in. You know, people will think this is a church and therefore it'll be a particular way, a particular style of choir. But it was really important to me that actually reflected the community that we lived in. The sound was what was out there.
I am hoping for the orchestra, not even hoping, the plan for, is that we try and create routes in for young people. We need an influx of young people, so whatever we can do as a charity to basically help support that progression route in.
I just want to listen new music, old music. I just want to be influenced by it. I want to hear where they're going with it, or I want to take it back to where I think I want to take it. So yeah, I always listen to reggae music. I always practice it. I always play it now, still continuously, non-stop.
Regular choir, it's a reggae choir.
Yes.
That has a very particular message, which is also very spiritual in many ways, and touches at the very heart of what matters to people out there. So it feels real. It's a reggae, reggae music and the reggae choir bring together and connect with communities in other ways. I think that in many ways that other choirs can't.
I wish that when I was younger, I had something like the Reggae Orchestra come to my school, because like going back to something I'd said earlier about only really feeling there was one route into music, which was here's your instrument and it's classical and here's a piece and that's what you're going to play. I would have loved to have had a Reggae Orchestra come and say, here are all the other instruments that you can potentially learn, and here's why they're important to community, to culture, to the city that you live in, essentially, because, you know, actually reggae music is much more than about just the music. But for me, that's why the orchestra is inspiring, because yes, you can come for personal development, yes, you can come and be creative, but actually you also can then impact your community.